It is started.
Okay.
So I guess introduce yourself.
I'm Jackie Kizer. I live in Horseshoe Bend at 1004 South Manor Drive. And I have owned a grocery store, a Save-A-Lot box store. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
So question one.
Okay.
Why did you decide to work in this industry?
Because my husband left me and I had 3 kids to support. That's the reason. And I went to work to learn it, to become a manager before I owned it.
You ready for question 2?
Yeah.
What kinds of problems did you deal with?
Mostly with the help, and I learned a lot from telling them what to do, but to do it in a way that it wouldn't hurt their feelings. I had a good lesson, I'll tell you this. I had a good lesson from a 17-year-old boy that I hired for stocking. And he had a friend come in while he was stocking, and they started talking on his time, you know. So I just called him out on it right in front of his friend. So that was my first lesson on how to handle people in a way. But he was very polite. He said, okay, and she left. But afterwards, he called me and come to me, and we went in the office, and he said, I don't mind you correcting me, but don't do it in front of my friends or family that comes in here if I'm doing something wrong. So that was one of my first lessons I learned, and it was a very important lesson, and it works. So.
What did you like most about working in this industry?
It was a physical job, and it worked off my anxiety from trying to raise 3 kids. And I could do it just better than most men on handling pallets and unloading them, because it was a box store. You learned to lift. You had from 20 pounds to 100 pounds, which I could do.
What did you dislike the most?
I really didn't dislike anything, really, because I like working. I guess the most dislike was having to fire people, because you have to have a good reason, and you need to be able to talk to them in a way when you fire them without just saying fire them. So I learned quite a bit of education on that.
Tell me about a typical day there.
I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning, go walk 4 miles. Then I'd have my coffee and breakfast, and I would be at work by 6:30 in the morning. The store opened at 9. I had everything lined out and ready for the help to come in at 8 o'clock. So they would start working, I would start working. We'd have a truck come in, and we'd have maybe 10 pallets come in, unload. I would work side by side with them. I had a good assistant manager that worked with me when I owned the grocery store, and we would work so hard sometimes we would just laugh out loud at things because we were so tired, and that's the way we handled it. But we worked good together. I worked with my people. I didn't just order them what to do. I worked with them.
What were the pros and cons?
Back when I owned it and ran the grocery stores, women were not managers or owners of grocery store back then. So the cons of it was that I didn't get the respect that men would get. After I owned it a while, I got quite a bit of respect because I'd done what men did, and I didn't use my femininist. I didn't use that to say, oh, I can't do this. Would you lift this 100-pound sack of potatoes up on a thing? So I would lift it up on the board to load them. So, and pros is I like to work, so it kept me busy. Not time to mess around and go out at night and party when you got 3 kids.
What is one thing you wish someone told you before working?
Well, I've always worked since I've been 12 years old.
I guess working there.
Oh, working there. What was the first part of the question?
What is one thing you wished someone told you?
Nothing in particular, because it was a learning experience. So, everything that I'd done back then was all brand new to women managing and running a grocery store. So I had nobody, I had a district manager that would tell me to do things. And one in particular, he told me what to do, which I appreciated. He said it needed to be changed where it would sell, you know. So I done it. Took me 3 hours to redo it. And when he come back the next time, it was exactly the way he had told me to do it, because he left a picture. And then he come into the store, which it was a very small store, and he said, you know, I think you had it set better than I did. So I had to reset it like I had it before. So, you know, you learn as you go. So I call that a good experience, because I went ahead and done what he told me to, which I thought mine was a better idea because it was hard to reset the way he wanted it. And so I just learned, okay, go ahead and do what they say, and then it'll come back.
I think you kind of already answered this one, but what were your main responsibilities?
Yeah, everything. Open, close, check, order. I done all the ordering. I done all the putting up, because it was a small operation. My loads of groceries that would come in would cost $20,000 to $25,000. Sometimes I'd get one load a day or two. So I had to balance that. The hardest part in there at all, which my help did not like to do, but I done it too, was rotation on a grocery store. And I was a firm believer in that. So I made sure that when we got a load in, we might have a pallet full of corn stacked 5 feet high and 4 feet deep. But I would make them pull every one of them out and put the new behind all that, which that's a lot of work. But, you know, they didn't like it. I didn't either. But I never had bad stuff. So I don't know. Did I answer that one right?
Sure.
Okay.
If you could do it all over again, would you choose the same path for yourself? If not, what would you change?
I wouldn't change anything that has happened for me, because I have learned from all situations. And I think that's life. And if you can't learn from your mistakes, then you need to correct your mentality of how you think, because the way you learn is from mistakes. So you need to, and I learn a lot. One thing I would suggest is, and I still think that way, that women running a box grocery store, you better think twice before you do it, because it's a lot of work if you put yourself into it and do the work. But I would not go back to grocery work.
You kind of answered the next question. What advice would you give someone who is considering this type of job?
Oh, I done said that. I wouldn't advise a woman to do it. But if it's a woman that's got authority and can sit there and say, you do this and you do that, then okay, they can handle it. Back then, a box store is a physical store, and they work on a small percentage of their sales. So there's a lot of heavy work lifting. So I would not suggest that. And I would pick something else different.
What interested you the most about this job?
What was most interest about it?
Sure, yeah.
Or in people, watching people buy fruits and vegetables, Is that what you mean?
Oh, is this the same story where you like hide the cigarettes from people?
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah, and just, you see, like people in a vegetable, they'll sit there and look, and they'll pick up produce, and they'll turn around and look and look and look and lay it down. And then they'll pick up something else, look, and lay it down. Bananas, that's the worst one. Tomatoes, apples, and then they'll go back and pick the first one they looked at. So if you watch them, and I do the same thing, even now when I go grocery shopping. So it's interesting to watch people's habits when they come in, and they always want their stuff cheaper. And a lot of people don't realize how much it costs to run a grocery store and the waste that you have that you throw away. And you really have to know how to buy for your customers as they come. I mean, there is so much waste, and I get mad at people when they say they're going up on prices. They're too high. They need to own a grocery store and pay for the delivery. If you're a smaller company, you cannot run your sales as cheap as you can of a store that can buy tons of stuff and store it. You cannot do that. So people just don't understand that. That aggravates me.
So I'm not sure why this question was in here.
Okay.
But 12.
Okay.
What did you do yesterday?
What did? Oh, I done a lot. Nothing in the grocery store. What did I do? Okay.
I saw you at church yesterday.
Yeah.
Then
But I got up in the morning, I ate my breakfast. I go check the pool out because I manage the pool here. So I have to check all the water and what it's doing. I have to clean it and that. So I got up and done that Sunday morning. And then I got ready for church, went to church. Then I ate dinner. And then I come back and I went out on the lake till about 6 o'clock. Come home, went back to the pool, done my work there. Got back home. We went and watered some stuff. We take care of the Nightingale Park over there, so we had to go check on stuff there. And then sometimes take the golf cart around, and I'll pick up trash down around in here. Then I might get home by 8 o'clock or 8:30.
Miss Charity doesn't know what you do all around here, especially Pioneer Village.
Yeah, they don't. But, it's I like to help people out, and I like to do things that I don't expect any credit for, and that. Like Todd, and Todd's the same way that we work and manage this place. And then across the street is not our property in my house or down this road, but they walk their dogs, and the grass gets so high on the other side. So they walk their dogs on that side so they don't have to pick up the poop or, and stuff, that's fine. But we keep that mowed now, and it's mowed down flat, and everybody has really thanked us for it, and that's all we need. But we like to do things like that. That was my day for Sunday.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. I'll be almost 80. Let me see. 80. I'll be here, still doing the same things I'm doing now. I plan on cutting back in about when I get 85. I think. Depends on my health. Okay.
How much did you earn?
Oh, not enough. When I first started working car hopping at 12, I made 50 cents an hour. Then you jump up to another and another. But when I got into what I call that big money to raise my kids on, when I started managing the grocery stores, the guy that quit at the grocery store that I took over made $200 a week. So I thought, okay, I can do good on that. Because I was a woman, they only paid me $180 a week, $20 less than him. And so, but I had to make a living for my kids back then. So I have learned how to live on a very low income, and still God blessed me with everything. We didn't starve. We always had a roof over our head, but that was not good money back then. So, but I finally earned more later, and but women, they're doing better now in the men's world, but not still like what they should, especially when they put out the work on this harder stuff. Okay.
What kind of hours did you normally work?
Oh, 16 hours a day. That was a good day, you know, because you have to open and close the store. If you own a grocery store, any kind of business, I don't care what you say or how much help you got, you need to be there 24/7 if you can, to keep an eye on it. So 16 hours a day. So, but I done 4 miles in the morning, 4 miles in the afternoon walking, and that kind of gave me the energy to do it.
We're almost done.
That's okay.
Number 16.
Oh.
What do you do if you can't solve a problem on your own?
I ask for help. I'm not too proud. It's like with this pool now, I'm having problems, so I'm fixing to call somebody because I can't figure out the numbers and that. But if you're too proud to ask for help, then that's not the way to be. That's what other people are for, to help you solve your problems. And if they can't, if they tell you no, say fine and go somewhere else and try to find it. Don't be proud.
What would you do if you were assigned a task with skills/experience that you do not currently have?
Well, I'm doing it now with the pool. I have never had a pool, and I've never taken care of one. So this pH and this free chlorine and the combined chlorine and the alkaline, I have no idea what all them chemicals mean or what they do. So I'm in a learning process right now for the pool. So do I like it? No, not really. But I am learning something new. And I think when you get older, I'm not old yet, but when you get older, the more you can learn, even if it's harder, I think it keeps your brain going.
How many hours altogether did you work in a week?
Oh, good gracious. 7 times 16 is... I usually double the regular working hour. You know, it would vary, but it wouldn't be nothing for me to get 80 hours or 100 hours a week, because I would stay afterwards and get things straightened out like I wanted to start the morning off. So I always put more hours in.
What opportunities have you had in this job?
In the grocery job?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, meeting people. I love people. I love to talk to them. And one I still keep going back to really was an old black lady that used to come into the store. That's the neighborhood I had, you know, in that. And 75% were black. But she come in that little store, and she called me Miss Jackie. And we had good conversations. But she said, "Do you like head cheese?" I said, "I've never had cheese, head cheese." She said, "Well, I've got some. I'll bring you some." Said, "I just killed a good hog, and that head has made the best cheese." And she said, "I don't waste nothing on the pig when I kill one." I said, "Okay, that's fine. I'll try it." So she brought me some. That was the best head cheese off a pig I had. And so that was an experience. But anyway, just people like that you just get to know, you know, and I think it's the older people that I really like getting to know more, you know. The younger ones have got their thing, they got problems, and they just shop and go, you know. But the older ones, they'll stop and talk to you, and you learn a lot from them. Okay?
Is there anything else I should know about this work?
Don't buy a store. Costs a lot of money to run one. And you do not get a good retirement out of it. Not unless you're just a big corporation or something, you know. But a little box store, I call it little, but it was pretty good size. But it makes you a living, and that's all. You know, you don't have no extras to get rid of or anything. So get into a different profession.
Last question. I added this one just for
Oh,
fun.
okay.
Do you even wear a mask?
No, I do not. And you do not want to ask me why I think that. So I stay out of politics.
I do too.
Yeah, so.
Well, we're finished.
Okay, good deal. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It went easier than what I thought. At least I knew what I was talking about.
I'm going to end the video.
Okay.